Good to see you, kind of.
What's up, Larry? How you doing, man?
I'm good, thank you.
Good to see you.
Can you share your emotions going into this season after all you've been through to, still be standing where you are and have a chance to have a senior season?
Oh man, it's a lot of emotions, but I think the biggest thing would be that I'm very grateful just to have the opportunity again to play this game that I've been gifted with by God. So just to be able to be back out there with my teammates. Obviously, it's a process that I have to get adjusted to because I haven't played in such a long time. But I'm just thankful that I can get tired again on the court.
Next question is from Chris Tavari, followed by Brendan Schwaber.
See you, Josh. Did I see a video the other day of you dunking off your left foot?
You probably did. Yep.
How is it feeling right now? I mean, if you had to give a percentage point of where you're at with the foot, where do you think it is, and is it about where or farther beyond, or where do you think you are right now?
I feel great. I think right now for me it's just getting back into that process of playing. Allowing my mind to catch up with my body. My skill is there, but it's still some things that I have to get used to doing, and just getting caught up with the pace of the game and so many other things that I didn't necessarily think about before I actually got on the court. And the first practice, you can ask everybody. I was just kind of like a little bit of everywhere, but because I was so excited to be out there. But I think for me right now, it's just getting used to that process and just taking my time each day.
Brendan Schwaber.
Hey Josh, I'm Brendan from WDBM Sports. Obviously, Coach Tom has called you the great unknown so far this season.
Breaking up a
With
little
your
bit.
show of practice under your belt now, you guys have been able to play a little bit. Where
Can
do
you
you
repeat the question
personally
again?
see yourself contributing to this team this year?
Can you kind of repeat that again? You broke up a little as you were speaking.
Yeah, no worries. Like after a week of practice, where do you think contributed the best to the team this year?
What did he say?
Josh, did you get that?
I missed it again.
Hey, Brendan, I'll get it. He was asking after a week of practice where you kind of feel you are. Coach has kind of referred to you as the great unknown. Maybe after a little bit of practice, how do you feel and where do you see yourself?
I feel great. Like I said previously, I think it's just getting used to the process, of being out there. I haven't been out there, and the last time I played was December of 2018, if I'm not mistaken. It's 2020, so that's been a while. So just getting used to being on the court, and just getting into the flow of the game, and getting a good feel of the game. But physically, I feel great. Our trainer Nick Ritchie and our strength coach Marshall. They've done an unbelievable job with just getting me, back stronger. And, all the coaches have done a great job of just helping me, kind of be wise about, the type of reps that I'm getting in practice and just allowing me to just really take it slow, but at the same time be aggressive with it.
Well, next two questions, Stephen Brooks, followed by Kyle Austin.
Hey, Josh, good to see you, man.
Good to see you.
I wanted to ask you, the process of getting used to this team, because like you just mentioned, I don't know how many guys that were on the floor with you last time you played are even around anymore, maybe other than Aaron and some of the mainstays. I'm saying
Right.
from that time, a lot of those guys are gone now. What's it like coming back to a relatively new group around you for the most part, and just that process, like I said, of getting to know new teammates on your comeback?
Yeah, I mean it's definitely an adjustment, but the good thing about it was that a lot of the guys that I'm on the court with, I still had a relationship with them, previously because of me still being a part of the team and me, traveling with the team and me being at the game. So we still have that chemistry off the court, which helps it not be as bad on the court. It makes it easier to adjust to because we have off the court chemistry. So it's been an adjustment, but at the same time, it hasn't been as bad.
Thank you.
Yep.
Go to Kyle Austin for the next one.
Hey Josh, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Wanted to ask you a little bit about the point guard position there next to you. Obviously, you guys have had Cassius there for so long, and it's a big change this year. How is kind of your team and your offense different now with new guys in that spot, and what have you seen out of Rocket and Barstow so far?
Definitely lost a big piece with Cassius. Unbelievable player. But I think those guys, like you said, Foster and Rocket, they've been doing a great job with, getting adjusted to that position. And, Foster has done a great job of leading, and, Rocket has done a great job of running the team as well. So obviously, it's different because Cassius isn't there anymore because he was a big part of our team. But, at the same time, those guys are ready for it. And, I think our coaching staff, they're doing a great job of getting them adjusted to that position.
Next two questions will go to Matt Charbonneau, followed by Andre Dahlgren.
Hey Josh, I'm curious about the mental aspect of this. And you hear a lot of guys talk about who've had injuries when they come back, having that confidence in their mind of playing 100%, not worried about getting hurt again. And you've obviously had 2 surgeries. Is that in your mind at all, or are you able to kind of, at least at this point, block that out and not have that be an issue right now?
Yeah, I think early, that was kind of in my mind, when I first got back out there. But I think now, falling down a little bit, getting bumped a little bit in practice, taking a few fouls, those things kind of got me adjusted as well. And then, like I said, I trust, first of all, I trust God. I understand that He has me back for a reason, and He wouldn't bring me this far to leave me. But also, I trust, the work I've done, with our trainer, Nick Ritchie. He's done a great job with me, since the first time I had my first injury. He's been there, since day one. And so, we've been doing a great job of just getting in and making sure that I feel right, making sure that my body is, where it needs to be, all different type of mobility, exercises, scraping, and all different kind of things that has helped me have confidence, in my foot, and just not just in my foot, but in my body as well. So, so early, I kind of had that, that reservation, but at the same time, now I'm getting to the point to where I've moved past that, and now it's just time to play. I just have to get used to being out there again.
Did your teammates at all sense that too? Did they take it easy on you, I guess? And was there a point where you had to say, cut it out, play like you would normally, not worry about it?
Well, I think it was a little bit of reservation there, but just me being me, I'm like, yo, let's play. I'm out here. I want you to play me like I'm out here. I'm supposed to be out here. So definitely was kind of some reservation from my teammates, but at the same time, with just kind of the way I play, I tried to just keep reminding them that, hey man, look, if I'm out here, play me serious, because eventually I'm gonna have to do it. So.
Thanks, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
Audrey?
Joshua.
Hello, how you doing?
Hi. Obviously, it's a huge honor to be named captain, but for you, this is the 3rd time in your career at Michigan State. Only 6 other people, players in the history of the program can say that. You think of it at that magnitude. What does it mean to you from that standpoint? Because obviously being a captain isn't anything new, but think of it in the history of the program, where you sit.
Yeah, I mean, I think first of all, being a captain, just in general, not just being a captain 3 years in a row, just being a captain in general here at Michigan State, it's an unbelievable, feat. And I think especially to be a part of the fraternity of captains that have came before me. You think about Mateen Cleaves, Magic Johnson, Travis Walton, my best friend Tum Tum Nairn. So, you think about all the captains that have came before me, and to be in that class is definitely, something that I don't take lightly. But at the same time, I'm just thankful that my teammates see me that way. And then, on top of me, being hurt 2 years in a row, and for me to be able to have this opportunity again for my teammates to see me as a leader, see me as a captain, it's ultimately at the end of the day, that's just, that's a sign of the grace of God. And, I'm just thankful that I can be a part of the team, and, I'm thankful that the guys see me as such.
We have time for a few more. We'll go to Paulo from the State News and then Chris Solari.
Josh, obviously you've been watching these guys develop. Who would you say has made the biggest jump from last year to this year, and who have you been most impressed with this far?
I think everybody has made great strides. You don't necessarily want to single out one person because I think that diminishes everybody's, work that they've put in the summer, or the little summer that we have had the opportunity to have. But I think one guy that's really, that has really been doing well is, I think, Gabe Brown. He's been as consistent, as can be, in terms of his defense, his shooting. And I think he may have grown a little bit, but I'm not necessarily sure. But I think, Gabe has, he's been great for us. He's been really consistent. So, and I look at a player who's made some great strides, I would say him, not diminishing everybody's else progression as well.
Thanks, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Solari?
You just talked about the special nature of being a captain. When you look at Foster, some of the things that he's gone through in the last couple of years, and just how he handled the situation with Cassius last year, what makes him a fit for you guys as a captain, and what leadership qualities does he bring?
Well, I think, when you look at how he handled the whole situation with not necessarily playing as much, that's a sign of selflessness. And I think as a captain, you have to have that. You have to be able to put the team first. You have to be able to put yourself second. In order to be a captain, you have to understand how to be a servant leader. And I think that's something that Foster embodies. And, even though he wasn't necessarily playing as much, the past few years, he never was not involved. He was always communicating with the team. He was always, talking to the team about certain things that he's seen. So he was a leader when he came here. It's just now it's time that people are actually seeing it. He's been elected to be a captain. And so, it's not nothing that I'm surprised about. I'm actually happy for him. And, I'm excited that, I get to be in the trio with him as a captain. So I'm definitely proud of him. And, I'm just thankful that he has the opportunity. And I know he's going to do a great job.
And last two, Stephen Brooks and then Brendan Quinn.
Just curious about anything, if at all, that you learned going through this sort of a second time in terms of working your way back and getting ready for a season. Second time around, any lessons or takeaways that you gathered that you think got you in better position this time?
I think the biggest thing I've learned is just trusting the process. I probably could tell you a bunch of different things that I learned, and we'll be here all day. But the biggest thing I learned is, just trusting the process and realizing that everybody has their own journey. And how you own that journey determines how well you are successful in the thing that you're doing. And so for me, I've been really learning the importance of trusting the process and just being able to be patient and have wisdom with the process, because sometimes it's certain things that I do on the court and I'm like, man, I could do that 2 years ago, and it's like, well, I have to remind myself, well, Josh, you haven't played in 2 years. The last time you practiced was a year and a half ago. So, all those things are going to come, in timing. And so I think for me, the biggest thing I've learned, the biggest life lesson that I can take, outside of basketball is realizing that everything takes time. Everything is beautiful in its own time. You just have to trust the process. And so if that's one thing that I could say that I've learned out of the many things, it would be that.
Thank you.
Next
Mhm.
question from Brendan Quinn.
Hey, Josh. From another one on Foster, what's been the things that you've seen him do in practice that you haven't yet seen translate to the court that you want to see from him in maybe a larger role as a junior?
I think he's done a great job just with, one thing about Foster that he sees the floor really well and he's able to pick apart the game. I never really been around a point guard that can actually see the game as if he's on the outside looking in. Like Foster can make a play and he sees it as if, he's a coach on the bench watching the game. Not too many people can see the game in that way. And so I think as he continues to, to play, you will see how well of a decision maker he is, how well, he can make plays and how well he can get other people involved because he has an unbelievable IQ. And so I think, like I said, as he gets out there and plays, that's what you'll see. Mm-hmm. Good to see you. I like the beard, man.
Thank you. That was the important stuff.
Josh, thanks so much for taking the time. Everybody, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Good seeing you.
Good to see you guys again.
Take care, man.
All right, take care.
And Max, you have a nice beard too.